We're back with a wild breaking news evening. President Trump announcing a deal with Iran and then hours later attending a UFC cage fight on the White House lawn. In places like Michigan, the president's war with Iran has sparked deep divisions and gas prices there have jumped by more than $1 a gallon since the conflict began. Michigan State Senator and U.S. Senate candidate Mallory McMurrow joins us now. So, State Senator McMurrow, we were hoping to have you tonight to really focus on the race in Michigan, but clearly world news has taken over. But the war in Iran has really had a significant impact on the economic fortunes of Michiganders. Could you talk about what you are hearing from your constituents as you canvass the state?
Absolutely. It has roiled our state. And this is just yet another example of this president creating chaos and then telling us we should thank him when he fixes it. Whether it's trade policy, tariffs, or now the war in Iran, I actually sat down with 7 Trump voters in Macomb County recently, one of our swingiest counties. And we talked for an hour, and I really wanted to understand, why did you vote for this guy? What was it that you saw in him? And one guy said it bluntly. He said, he promised he was going to end wars. And this is a guy he's a janitor at a nursing home during the day, but at night he does DoorDash. And you said it, you hit it on the head. The price of gas being up to $5 a gallon in Michigan when it was under $3 before this war started, a war that Donald Trump chose to take us into because Benjamin Netanyahu convinced him to do so, has devastated Michigan. And this is a guy who just wants to pay his bills, and the president promised him one thing and did another. And now he's throwing himself a big birthday party. It's just insult on top of insult to Michiganders.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So I was going to ask you to kind of pick up on that. If you are elected to the U.S. Senate, obviously foreign policy is going to be front and center because you will have at least 2 years of Donald Trump in office while you are a U.S. Senator. And so a lot of these issues, including the potential, I guess not ratification as an official treaty, but the approval of the U.S. Senate on any nuclear agreement involving the United States and Iran would possibly presented to you as a senator from Michigan. What are the red lines for you? What are you going to say to your voters and constituents about what you would accept and not accept from an agreement between the United States and Iran?
I mean, first of all, what you said requires that the Senate and the Congress act as a co-equal branch of government. And to date, they simply haven't. Right. Every single Republican has handed full carte blanche power to this president. And in Michigan, we can't lose sight of the stakes here. We've got Mike Rogers, who's running on the Republican side, who, when Donald Trump truthed about, annihilating an entire population when he started the war with Iran, Mike Rogers celebrated and said, this is peace through strength. So for me, my red line is, what do Michiganders want and need when the president is dismissing the death of American service members as if they are expendable? That in no way serves Michiganders. There was no immediate threat from the Iranian government, from the Iranian regime to Michiganders, to Americans. There was no reason for us to enter this war.
Well, the other piece of the sort of foreign policy connection between, of course, what's happening abroad, but then also what's happening in your race is the question of the United States and its relationship to Israel right now. Not only is that a major issue to so many people who live in Michigan, there's a huge Lebanese American population that has been absolutely devastated by what is happening right now. We just had analysts on our air saying that they believe strikes in Lebanon, in a way, may have played a role in the United States having to rush to get a deal done now. And in a way, we may have lost some, whatever leverage we had left, or at least ceded some leverage to Iranians in these very sensitive negotiations because of what's happening to the Lebanese people. And so I guess how you plan to speak to voters who may be outraged by some of what they've seen happen here, wondering where that relationship goes next, both just for their own or interpersonal reasons, but also because of what they've seen happen in Iran and in the entire region.
Yeah, it is more existential in our state than I would say just about any other state in the country. A good friend of mine, Abbas Alawieh, who's running for state senate, his grandmother's home in Lebanon has been bombed 3 times. And it is not an abstract war for Michiganders. It's personal. We also saw an attack on a synagogue in Michigan where a man drove his truck into a synagogue where 140 preschoolers were going to school. It is essential for us as Michiganders that this war end, that the violence stops, that the United States extracts itself from this violence. And the conversation with Michiganders always has to be an open door, because with the diversity of our population, there are a lot of different ideas about the right course of action in the Middle East. But what's true is a senator needs to sit and listen to everybody, hear the personal stories, because it is not abstract, and do whatever it takes to end this war, not to be an endless supply of arms sales and aid to the Netanyahu government.
Can I get your thoughts on something we're seeing on our screen? Just give me your thoughts as an American, as a politician. How do you feel about the fact that you're looking at a cage fight taking place on the White House's South Lawn, to commemorate the 250th anniversary of this country?
To me, my immediate...
Sponsored by Crypto.com, we should know.
My immediate reaction is he's fighting the wrong fight. Michiganders are struggling to pay their bills.
So you don't think Michiganders care about this?
I think they do care about it, because they see that it is wildly tone deaf. I mean, we love sports.
Yeah.
I know that we're in New York. Congratulations on the Knicks. The Pistons had a good run this season. But to do this at a moment, it is not like the economy is roaring. It's not like we're in a place where everybody is prosperous, where everybody's doing well. More and more Michiganders are struggling because of the decisions of this president. And he's throwing himself a birthday party in the middle of it. I mean, it just rings "let them eat cake" when people are saying, "let me buy gas."
Yeah, it does give off very Mary Antoinette vibes. State Senator Madeleine McMorrow, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us on set. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.